Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Mid-South Wrestling Review Series for the 7th of August, 1982. We are fast approaching the middle of summer in the area. Ted DiBiase and Tommy Saxton is your opening contest here this week. Side headlock and basic stuff by DiBiase. Ride time by DiBiase, and he's willing to cheat, get a couple of knees to the shoulder area and a body slam or two. Love the fact that Mid-South Wrestling is, in fact, much more of a wrestling product than most of the stuff today. And stays on the headlock. Stays on the headlock for quite a minute, quite a bit. Does DiBiase here? A edited show, as this show clocks in only at 32 minutes. Maybe they cut a bunch of angles or something out of the show. I don't really know, but anyway, normally they run about 41 to 43 minutes, so about a quarter of the show cut out, which is bizarre. But anyway, Snapmare Takeover and Run of the Like and Irish Whip. Saxton comes back around, hits a shoulder tackle and the like. DiBiase comes up and hits a couple of punches. He's not unwilling to take some risks, and a big back body drop by the North American champion at this point. He stays on Saxton, who I think this is his first time in the area. Eventually hits the figure four and gets a victory. Colonel Buck Robley and Billy Starr is your next contest of the evening, and that is I guess I'd say, from my standpoint, kind of a uneventful match. They've wrestled before. Starr is the perennial enhancement talent in the area. He's very good at what he does, but not terribly needed for much other than making other people look good. Starr does have a masterful way of backing off from opponents. Meanwhile, Robley does manage to hook on and hold on to headlocks and arm bars for the first several minutes of this thing, and takes his opponent over ride time with a headlock. Robley manages to stay on, and again, they're trying to tease him as a star in the Mid-South area. Doesn't really work. Junkyard Dog hasn't been seen around in a couple of weeks, and so they're kind of cycling him out, maybe cycling Robley back in, trying to get some house show stuff out of Robley. Not really sure what that's about, but it is what it is, and stays on the headlock, takeover, chin lock, and the like. Robley off the ropes manages to hit a shot under the chin of his opponent and a hard shot right there. Really, I mean, this match, honestly, for the level of skill, going on a little too long. Hot shot by Robley, and he takes the cover 1-2, and out the back door comes Starr. Not quite sure why Starr would come out the back door on that type of maneuver, not being an established talent, but he does. Neckbreaker by Robley, and again out the back door. Not even a hook at the leg. Robley showing himself to be somewhat, I don't know that inexperienced, but maybe lazy. I don't even know. Not to hook a leg in a situation like that. Knee drop, and again, and Starr looking really quite good for his role within the situation, as he's coming out of just about every major move there. Sleeper hold in a modified military sort of way. Gets Robley the win eventually here. And Hacksaw Duggan and Tony Torres, who we haven't seen in a little bit, but is a perennial enhancement talent. Duggan doing the stomp against the rope that we come to see when he was fired up in the WWF as a big deal. Duggan manages a headlock takeover and a big Beal out of the corner. Duggan certainly not a guy who's willing to take a backward step. Big kick by Duggan, and again, we've seen some alignment with DiBiase that will only increase throughout the summer and into the fall here in Mid-South. But he continues to use really basic stuff, continually referred to as a bit of a hired mercenary, although he doesn't really play the role fully on a weekly basis. Big body slamming Torres, not with the hooked leg and or shoulder breaker, and not with the hooked leg. So Torres comes out the back door in a hurry. Duggan again with some kicks and really basic stuff. Duggan tries for the vertical suplex, does not get it on Torres, and manages to continue to get where he wants to be. Torres continues to fight back. Double axe handle by Duggan, and a big flying tackle by the Hacksaw gets him back in the direction of the match going his way. Big running slam by Duggan, first into the corner and then in the middle of the ring, gets him exactly where he wants to be, and actually runs to two corners before dropping his opponent off as a sack of potatoes. And Duggan is very happy with this backbreaker, leads him to a victory here. Iron Mike Sharp and the One Man Gang, we've seen them wrestle the last few weeks, and this week is no different. Kind of there in a weird sense, and I don't even know. It's almost like they are showing replays here because he's lined up with Killer Khan there, so they may be also showing some replays. Gang, though, with a slide off the shoulder and a big slam. I actually do think this is a replay of the previous week because we see Sharp go to the outside, come in with a weapon. Short shot by the Gang. Gang with the elbow drop and gets the momentary almost victory there. Gang hits a pile driver, or actually does not. Gets the backdrop, and again, yeah, this is definitely a clip of the previous week, and I'm sorry for that. I did not realize that at the time. But anyway, both he and Akbar together, referee calls for the bell. Disqualification, will not acknowledge the victory as anything other than a disqualification victory. Obviously, Sharp wants a match with Akbar. And again, they showed last week's contest with Killer Khan as well. Both men tie up, and again, this match was a bit more of a brawl than previous weeks. Khan manages to have the advantage in that brawling manner. Punch kick, much more aligned with strikes than Mike Sharp. Sharp tries to get out with the top wrist lock, doesn't get where he wants to get with it completely, and a bit more of a struggle for him. Khan tries to overpower his adversary, doesn't get everything he wants out of that either, and again, some chokes and really basic stuff from Khan. Khan actually uses the kind of face wash with the forearm and some choking along the way. And then an Irish whip by Khan into the corner, hits a running knee and some more strikes. Khan pretty dominant in this one, misses the splash in the corner, and a hard shot by Sharp. Sharp also pretty well stays on him, even hooks him in a bear hug, which I don't know that a bear hug on a guy the size of Killer Khan's going to do a heck of a lot of good unless you're the size of Andre the Giant. Khan misses the big elbow in the center of the ring, which doesn't make Akbar happy, although Akbar never really fully sells displeasure unless absolutely necessary. Shoulder tackles by Khan in the corner. Khan goes, or sets to go almost, to the top rope, manages the body slam, does go to the second rope on the inside, misses the knee drop, and this again leads to Iron Mike Sharp getting his hands on Akbar, laying Akbar out. Akbar does a massive job of selling, and again, we see the pile driver and the win for Iron Mike Sharp via disqualification. The final match of the day, Killer Khan and One Man Gang with Skandar Akbar versus, I believe it's Sharp and, no, Mr. Olympia and Precious Paul Ellering. So Mike Sharp no longer part of that equation, but Precious Paul's been in and out, and certainly a baby face that people would want to see have a bit of a finish, although I don't know that the match has a finish. One man Gang with a body slam, although Olympia moves out of the way. Gang has an advantage for a little bit. Khan comes in and takes over on Olympia for a little while. Olympia manages to fight back, and then an Irish whip after a tag by Precious Paul. Paul goes to the lower midsection, and Khan manages to fight back with him. Precious Paul in a bit of tie-dye, shoulder tackle by Khan. Khan not very impressed with all of this. Complete miss on a roll-up attempt by Precious Paul Ellering, and Khan tied in the ropes momentarily. One-man Gang comes in from behind, manages to get an advantage for his team as simply and aggressively as he can. Working over the leg is Precious Paul Ellering of the One-Man Gang, which is a weird combination to see in the middle of the ring. Gang trying to choke out his opponent, and Khan and Olympia square back off with about 2 minutes left in the television program. Hot tag to Precious Paul Ellering and Khan in the middle of the ring. Again, Paul Ellering kind of so overexcited, loses his balance a bit. All four guys in the ring, and chaos ensues. Akbar trying to point out something. Meanwhile, cut off by the Akbar's team, and Khan able to go to the second rope on the inside, manages to drop the knee on Precious Paul and get the victory. Paul Ellering, I'm pretty sure, within a year out of active competition once the Road Warriors are a part of that process, but we are done with that abridged version.